Welcome to my channel. Sorry guys, I was live on Facebook just inviting everyone. And if you are switching from Facebook and you've never seen this channel, you've never seen me before, and this is your first time, I just want to give you a proper introduction. This is Tisha Oliphant, born and bred in South Africa, and this channel is about traveling, investing, and career life. I worked in corporate for close to 3 decades, so I do every now and then give the tips and tricks that I personally used while I was still there. And today, and if you've been on this channel, I just want to say thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your love. Thank you for always sharing. Thank you for always liking as you come in. Please guys, do like so that others can see this discussion and they can also learn, or they can impart the knowledge that they already have. Because remember, we are exchanging in knowledge. It's not just one-sided. I share what I know, or I share my personal experience or experiences of people that I've spent time with, or the people that are much closer to me, or what I read on the newspapers or social media. And I hope you will do the same as well, where you share the information. So I'm sure if you do follow the financial markets, you've heard that, yes, the financial gurus have different names for it. But before we start, I want to just give a disclaimer that I am not a certified financial advisor or financial planner. If you need financial advice, please do contact your financial advisor to guide you and assist in what is right. So today, I woke up this morning and I was going through the news, especially the financial news, and I came across few analysts discussing the fact that the markets are low, not at their lowest, because no one can tell if they are there at the moment, but with time we will all know, and others call it a market crash. So this is the time where we need to sit and discuss what can we do to take advantage of this period. So as I've already given the disclaimer, I'm not going to sit here and tell you what exactly you need to do, but we're just going to give one another tips and guidelines on what we should be doing, what we could do to take advantage of these markets that seems to be low. So first things first, if you are already invested or you are an investor in the stock market, whether it's Johannesburg stock market or it's the US markets, there's plenty of markets, Australian markets that you can invest in. You must be having a portfolio, and as any investor, the onus is up to you to look into your investments and see if they are yielding great results or not. So if you are investing in a stock market, I'm sure you've got reminders, or you've got certain days in a week or month, if you don't want to overdo it, where you go through the stock market news or financial markets and check what is going on. So currently, those who went to school for this kind of life are telling us the markets, the share prices are dropping. What's important if you are already invested in the stock market is please do not panic. If you're going to sign in and look into your portfolio, don't start worrying, which it is red, blood, roy everywhere. For those who know a business, you're investor, we buy when it's low and sell when it's high. So this is the time for someone who says, Mina, I don't even know what the stock market is. I've never been invested in a stock market. Or for someone who says, I am an investor in a stock market, to breathe in and out and remain calm. And know that this is the time to take advantage of the market. Good evening, Life of Tandy in Slow Town and Zamambata Nxumalo. So if you already have a portfolio, you don't have a portfolio, just breathe in and out. So for those who don't have a portfolio, I would recommend that you contact your financial planner and say, I've heard, I've read, I've seen that the share prices are dropping, the market is bleeding. How can I take advantage of that? And guys, we all know you need money to invest in the stock market. You need money to invest anyway where you prefer to invest. So during this time, make sure, even when the market goes low, because it does, what goes up comes down. And when you're still young, when you are not retiring this year, there's no need to panic. Except for people who are retiring and maybe they don't have other investments, they were only dependent on the investment that will be, and we know when the markets are down, it tends to affect most excuse me, investments. So those are the people who are, as we speak, are contacting their brokers and they are contacting their financial planners to say, hi Bo, where to from here, because they are retiring. But me and you, who still have time on our side, and those who are much younger, I'm a 2000, you should be sitting here. In fact, this live should have 1,800, if not 10,000 people listening. Go see, how can I take advantage of the stock market that is seen as crashing? Because they use different terms. Nhlanhla, the tall chick. Hi, Nhlanhla. Hi, sweetheart. So I want to say there are many ways to invest in the stock market, and I will not share all of them because I'm not in any position to do so. Your financial advisor will do so. But I know there are people who are using easy equities to invest in the stock market. And one of my kids did ask, I think a few months ago, and I was thinking to myself, if I already did that live, and I did say I will do it high level because easy equities as a platform has so many pages, and a lot can be done on that platform. So I was going to touch on the crucial sides, how to start, where to click, and all that. And we would have been much better prepared for this period to actually just come in and invest. But nevertheless, I'm sure we've all heard of easy equities, and I'm not saying go and invest there. I'm saying go and speak to your financial planner or advisor, but it looks like that. Easy equities, that's the app there. So most apps has something that is called, they all refer to it differently. Others are frequently asked questions. This, I think it's information center or knowledge center. You can click there. It has all the questions. What are dividends? What is the stock market? And you can read up. But you don't want to spend too much time analyzing things because the market can just soon start going up while you are still analyzing. So the best bet is to touch base with your financial advisor who studied this and will maybe in a quicker turnaround time be able to assist you and answer all the questions that you have. But there's people who invest using that app, easy equities. There's a number of apps, there's a number of investments institutions where you can go and invest. But we're talking about, since the market is bleeding, there's blood in the streets or on the streets, what we should be doing. Do not panic. This is the time where you should be smiling. I smiled. I'm no longer as young, but I was smiling as I was following the news. And today I woke up and took advantage by going into my stocks, going into my exchange traded funds, going into my unit trusts, and investing more. And I've got my own strategy, which I don't want to share because then it will be I'm giving financial advice and I don't want to do that. But I did invest because this is the time where we should be investing. When everyone else is panicking and leaving and wanting to sell, we're buying. So it's a time for your opportunities. It's an opportunity unless you are retiring. We touched on that. And guys, investing in stock, and I'm still going to do a live video about where the wealthy people invest. Investing in stock is one of many ways of building wealth. So income, working for Bas, Poppy, or whoever, yes, you get an income at the end of the month, but if you're gonna use it to consume goods and buy this and pay for utility bills and pay for transportation, school fees and whatever, we all know you will never be counted amongst the wealthy people. But if you are invested in the stock markets and you stay the course, which means you don't expect to get wealthy overnight because there isn't such a thing, and you leave your investment and you add into it. You don't just put it in and leave it unless it's millions or it's more than enough. You constantly add into your investment and you leave it over time. That's one of the vehicles that will get you where you're heading to. That is one wealth building tool amongst others. So you should be invested in the stock market, and your financial planner will tell you what's the better way of doing it. Others buy individual stocks, but remember, there's risks involved investing in the stock market. Like everything else, there's risks. And stock market, because it's equities, easy equities, the name of the app, it is high risk compared to when you invest in bonds, when you invest in cash, which we know high risks, high returns, low risks, cash, sometimes no returns, but low returns. So if when now you are sitting there and you are dreaming of that beautiful retirement home, at Plettenberg Bay, where I was, and I would love to retire. It's one of the few places which I wouldn't mind retiring at, or Neisner, but you are not invested in the stock markets. I don't know. Or you're not invested in any other, you know, using any other investment tools to get your retirement sorted. Or it doesn't have to be retirement. Maybe you're planning to have an awesome anniversary, wedding anniversary, 15 years from now, but you're only keeping your money in a bank. You're going to have a problem. Look into investing in the stock market. Speak to people who went to school, who know what they are talking about, and who are not just going to charge you and leave you out on the streets, but who will give proper advice. So if you'll be investing in for the first time, speak to the right person. If you are already invested like me, make sure you read up, you do your research, and this is the time to buy more shares or to add into the shares that you already have. So remember, you can buy individual shares, you can buy exchange traded or invest in exchange traded funds rather, which is a basket of shares, which there it's fraction of different shares, like the top 40 JSE top 40, you invest in the top performing 40 companies that are listed on JSE. But when you are on easy equities and you click on those different investment tools or plans or baskets, it tells you exactly what this consists of. Or you want to rather do unit trusts, which have been around for years, and other also have been around for years, but people prefer those because with individual stocks, there's lots of research that needs to come through. You need to know company financials, you need to know how who's who, are you comfortable, what is the company about, does it speak to what your values, to what you believe. If you I'll use an example. If you are a Muslim, I don't see you investing in a company that is big on pork. You understand? So you need to take into consideration all that before you can invest in an individual company. But there's people who invested years back in individual stocks and they are now smiling. We all know when Capitec came about, we all were wondering who's this player now in the, for a very long time, it was a big four. And I still recall, I think I was still working for a bank or I had left, like, oh, they want, there's no ways, this is gate kept, there are too many red tapes. And their share price was so low. And those who bought that individual stock at the time are now smiling because what's Capitec share price? Let's check it. Okay, we'll check it at the end. Let me cover all the, and remind me, guys, if I do forget. Hi, Boogie. We're hi, sweetheart. So this is the time that you don't even think of selling your stock. It's not financial advice. If I am holding, and we spell it HODL, and when we talk financial market terms, hold. So you're not selling because you cannot afford to panic and make wrong decisions. You are not losing if or your investment is not at stake if you are not selling. The only time you're gonna make a loss is when you wake up tomorrow and the share price has dropped even further and you decide, I can't stomach it, because there's people who panics, and some people have invested quite a big sum of money. We're not talking someone who can say, okay, it's 2,000, I can survive. So they panic, and if you sell and you make, excuse me, and you sell less at a less price than the price you paid when you bought that stock or that share, those shares, then you would have lost. But if your portfolio is currently red, blood red, but you are not selling, the market has a tendency of correcting itself. We had the property market issues in 2008, and oh my goodness, I recall one guy who was a financial planner at the time. He told me a couple of stories about how heartbreaking it was to go and announce this to his clients that were retiring at that point in time. That's why I'm saying, if you're still young, if you're still working, you're still pushing your business, you're still hustling, you're not retiring, chill, don't panic. But if you're retiring, then rush and speak to your financial advisor. And guys, if you invest in the stock market, invest the amount of money that you are willing to lose, because it's high risk. But if you get it right, and no one can time the market, guys. Don't let anyone fool you. No one has a crystal ball. If they did, we will most of us, be wealthiest people on this earth. And yet there's just a list of people who got it right. And it's not because they were timing the market, they just invested at the right time, like now when the markets are low, and they happen to buy shares or unit trusts or invested in exchange traded funds that did well over time, while they had other investments that they were investing in. You'll find it's not only stock that they focused in, but don't go full force with money that you're going to need for school fees January 2025 and buy shares now and say, oh, this is the right time. Indeed it is. But make sure you will stay invested, medium, preferably long term, 15 to 20 years and more. Minimum 15 if you really want to yield the best results. So hold your investment. And we spoke about individual shares that you can buy. People bought shares such as, I always refer to ShopRite because they did so well. Mr. Price, if you go and look at the Mr. Price share price, 15 years ago, you'll be shocked at how much you would have made had you invested only 1,000 rands or 2,000 rands. Same applies to shares like ShopRite. If you were in already a player, an investor in a stock market and not wondering what is this stock market? The stock market is for certain colors. No, it's for all of us. And maybe then we didn't know better financially, but what are we doing to better ourselves when people don't sit and spend time acquiring knowledge to better their financial status even today when there are so many platforms that could assist and open your eyes if you weren't born in a family that shared this information. But you find good people have their own priorities, and sadly, some of the things that they prioritize will leave them in the same situation, if not worse, financially 10 years from now because they're just not bothered. They think magic will happen. They think they will win some lotto. No, you ought to be invested. You ought to invest to be able to smile tomorrow. Lindy Budibe, hi Sisi Wami, hi Sisi. So here I just have listed, you can invest, we've covered it. Individual shares, unit trust, exchange traded funds. There's so many bonds, shares, properties. As you can see behind there, I read that book. Is it here or there? That side a while back. In fact, I've got 2 books from Jason. And yeah, so there are so many. So, and I just want to say to you, once you invest, whether you'll be the first time investor on easy equity or you'll be adding to your stock that you already have or to your portfolio, just make sure that you automated. I automated some of my investments today because if I forget, and it's worse now because I no longer get a set salary on a specific day, so money comes in today, tomorrow nothing is coming in, then something comes in after 2 months and so forth. So I made sure that I automated and I chose a date where I know there'll be funds in my account to continue investing until my retirement or post my retirement. So if you can automate your investment, if you are working and you've got an account where you earn your income, or when I say working, I'm not saying working for someone, maybe working for yourself, or you are a student and you get an allowance. Now it's the time that once you set up you open your is equity account or whichever investment platform that you feel comfortable with after speaking to your certified financial advisor, and make sure he's got a license. Automate your investment, because if you don't, guys, we are human beings. When money comes in, we look at what we need to attend to at this point in time, and there are so many burning issues. Okay? I've got the electricity that is burning me Mina right now. So if I didn't automate my investment today, or investments rather, it means I would wake up and time flies 10 years from now and realize, Gucci, people who automated their investments are smiling all the way to Europe to some a holiday. And I'm gonna say Europe holiday because that's what puts a smile on my face. And in your case, you're gonna wake up and realize, good, hey, people did ABC, they bought their dream cars. If cars are what you love, we all love different things. So automate it And what I will also recommend, without taking your financial advisor's position, is that if you buy shares that pays dividends on a quarterly basis, I made sure on some of them, but today I sat down and took time and ensured that all of them, the dividends gets reinvested, because you've got a choice where your dividends can be paid into your accounts, your bank account, and you can use them or invest them somewhere else. Remember, there's people who invest in shares which pays dividends, and they use the dividends to sustain their lifestyle. So they use those dividends as their quarterly income, or divide it and make it monthly income. But if you don't need those dividends, and obviously, guys, in that case, you need to be you need to invest a good sum of money, or your shares must have been doing so well over time that your dividend will be able to pay for your groceries, for instance. Your dividends now are able to pay for your bond. Your dividends now are able to pay for your children's school fees, or holidays or something like that. So make sure you take time to go on your investments, that, or shares rather, that you bought or you're gonna buy today before you sleep, because this is serious business. And I hope you've got savings in your bank account, and you've got money that is lying there and not even earning you any interest. It's sitting on your bank account. Guys, it doesn't matter. You can buy shares with as little as 5 cents, 10 cents. Go on Easy Equities. Speak to your financial advisor. He or she will guide you accordingly. So you don't need to have 10,000 to be a player with stock markets. You don't need to have 50,000 to start buying stocks. You can start with as little as you have, but start now. If you are in your early 20s, boy, and you just keep on increasing your investment every time you get more income, you get extra income bonuses, and you do a project and you are paid, you get a tender somewhere and you get monies from the tender, you just keep on increasing. You're buying more shares, buying more shares. 30 years from now, oh, we won't be able to recognize you. 20 years from now, you'll be talking a different language. You'll be twanging, hi guys, how can I help you? I'm too busy. I need to get to my holiday home. Because you would have done what needs to be done today to take care. And don't invest because you're investing for your kids. Don't invest because you're only investing for your retirement. Don't invest because invest. We all have goals. You might want to study 3 years from now, and you might not qualify for NSFAS. So just be a player. Invest because you want to build wealth. There could be charity organization or something that touches you, and you'd love to extend your hand. Kids that are abandoned or left by their mothers, you always feel some type of way, and you love to assist one day. Maybe tomorrow is not the right time because you're still building wealth, you don't have enough. But when you invest and you let time take over, and you allow yourself to just breathe and just look in your investments and add and say, I'm not touching it. I know I'm born yesterday, and instant gratification is the demon that is attacking us as the younger generation. But I say, get behind me, Satan. I say, under my feet, I rebuke the spirit of instant gratification, and you come out victorious, guys. Your investment in 15 years' time, in 20 years' time, if your dream is to retire early and get out of a red race and do things that matters and own your time. Oh, I can't even explain the feeling right now. Although I'm not retired, I'm on a gap year, but boy, oh boy, one day I'll do a live and tell you about the benefits. And maybe you want to do it for just 6 months where you just go and regain your energy again. This is the time for you to set up portfolios for 20 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, to be able to focus on things that matters to you. Ungathola ukuthi ubukiwe would love to start an NGO. How so? When you are not invested anywhere, when it's hand to mouth, when the money comes into your account, while you're still looking at it, it's moving like this, debit orders. It already has its own people waiting for it. But when you've got your investments and you just keep on putting more, when someone blesses you because you are cool, Bukiwe and Lindy, you put it in your stock, you put it in your unit trust. I would say, oh, that bag, of course, live the life to the fullest, but don't take everything unnecessarily so and buy things. You know, when you've gotten the formula correctly, and I hope you get the best financial advisor, you'll be buying a shop, you'll be selling those bags. If you can just hold for the next, that discipline, that focus, that consistency, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years from now, 30 years, 40 years, if you are 19 or you are 20, no retired person can match up to you, because time is everything when we talk investing in stock markets or investing in anything. The more time you have, chances are your investment will grow at a crazy amount. In my case, if I were to invest same, or not even, let me say, if I were to start investing with my daughter Unconco, who is still young, I will have to invest, if she's investing 300 on a monthly basis, she is investing for the next 20 years, and I need to invest for 20 years, which I don't have anymore, but only God knows. I will have to invest thousands of rands to match up a return. The chances I won't even be able to return what she will get out 20 years time, even if I were to invest 8,000 or 10,000 for 20 years, when she's only investing three, because of time. Mine will have to be more, because I don't have enough time. Yeah, now she can invest 300. That's what I'm trying to say. 300 rands for like 30 years. She can invest 300 rands for 40 years, for 20 years. She's still young. I don't have 20 years. I don't have 30 years. I don't have. So you most probably, I'm only left with at least 15 years. So even if I try and push it, because yeah, interest on interest will boost her investment to get her millions that I'll be dreaming of them, because 30 years from now, God forbid, where will I be? Even if I'm still around, will I even enjoy that money? But with her, it will be double, triple what I will make, even if I were to invest more money. So look at the calculations as well. Most sites, when you are buying unit trusts through, whether I don't want to promote any financial institution, but they always have calculators. Just calculate and look at the number of years. If I invest this if you invest 300 rands for, 10 years, how much will you get out at an interest? Maybe your interest is 8%. And be careful of inflation when you are investing, because it really chows the buying power of your money. You don't want to invest in something that only gives you 5% return or 4% return, when inflation, last time I checked it, it was going close to 6%. So you want to invest on an investment or using an investment class that will give you more than the inflation plus 3%, inflation plus 4%, or inflation plus 7%, if you can get those, then you know that over time, what you can buy with 100 rands today could still buy you the same things tomorrow. Because if you don't do that, your 100 rands, which you, and what can we buy? Cup of coffee today, chances are 5 years, 10 years from now, 100 rands will only get you a keep scopas, and that's it, So guys, that is my take. Please go back and look into your investments. And before we close, and read, keep up to date with the markets. And yes, the markets are bleeding, but I'm excited. I worked on my investments today, which will help me 15 years from now, 10 years from now. It will depend on when I will be deciding to tap into that. And like I said, I automated them so that I don't have to worry about forgetting to increase and put more on a monthly basis. Now they will automatically, when I have money, or every month, there's extra money going on. Whether it's 1,000 extra, if you can afford it, whether it's 200. And guys, don't say you don't have anything to invest. Do not. You can sit down, we've done in life, and see what you can do. We spoke about you will have to cut down certain things, and we can. There's things that you'll have to let go, because with a better future comes sacrifices. You can't have it all. So you ought to choose. Are you eating a dog food or cat food now, or you gonna eat it later? Or you are gonna find something that will bring you an extra income, another stream of income, and you're gonna use that money to invest for your dreams or your tomorrow. But le excuse yokuthi, I only earn 4,000. There's people who earn 3,000, but they are investing, whether it's 40 rands a month or 30 rands or 50 rands, but they cannot be matched up with anyone who's currently earning 40,000 and not invested anywhere, but is just paying debts and debts all over. And if need be, focus on paying off the debts. We spoke about that. Even look at my other live or videos, so that you free up money to invest for things that matters to you. Like I said, Google, Facebook, we cannot be poor. For those who really are battling financially, you can't battle today, battle with life in 4 years time, in 10 years time, 20, and retire poor. And it can easily happen if there's nothing that you're doing. Like how the younger generation complains about black tax, and I often ask them, what are you doing so that your children don't complain about black tax like you are complaining? Because tomorrow you'll be the one that becomes a recipient of what you now label as a black tax. So we need to change the narrative, guys, and no one will come. There's no manna from heaven. We are that manna. No one will come to help us out. It's our lives, it's our children that we're trying to give a better future. So we ought to make informed and right decisions and focus on the right things and make sure we've got everything set and done. And now it's a matter of monitoring. That's what I'll be doing, monitoring my investments, increasing them when there's a need, reducing them, and decreasing the contribution amount if I'm no longer making enough money, because that's also okay. But to think, go to one day when you'll win the lotto, good luck. They say you've got higher chances of kicking the buckets than winning a lotto. So okay, just think about it. Mina nje ngithi start small. Oh guys, I forgot my password again. I wanted to go in, but I wasn't gonna show you how was I going to go in. I just wanted to And I changed. Oh, I know. No, I didn't forget my password. It's my username because it didn't make sense. Table. I was busy investing today. How can and I change it today? Because guys, are you feeling the same way? My passwords, because we need passwords for everything, and they need to be different because you don't want to use the same password for everything in case nearby the Tsotsis get hold of your information and they clean you everywhere. So this app must have this password. Your Facebook must have it, and you must have those case sensitive stuff, those special characters, so that it's difficult for someone to. So here it's different passwords, and when you've got different things that you work on that requires passwords. Your work laptop requires passwords. If you work with vaults, the vault that you go in needs passwords. Your investments, different passwords. You go bananas. So guys, I'm not gonna show you how much is here because that is so private. It's enough that I share my stash. But I just want us to check uh, the share price here, Capitec, because yeah, let's see if I will be able to see 3 years ago. Okay, currently, okay, and the market is closed, so we're not gonna get the live. Um, Today, what's the date today? 6th. So share price, yeah, Capitec. Today it closed when the market closed on the 6th of August 2024. And I'm saying this purposely so that when your kids watch this live 20 years, 10 years from now, 15 years, they're like, oh, was that the share price? Look, it's good. I invested. Now I'm smiling all the way to the bank. So today is the 6th of August 2024. The Capitec share price the market closed when the share price was 2,785 rands and 2 cents. 2785.02. Imagine you need 2,785 rands and 2 cents to buy one Capitec share. Guys, I don't believe it. Oh, gosh. Why did I delay buying when these guys came in? Okay, let's see how much it was 1 year ago. So I'll just go for a random day. So on the 14th of August, which is more or less this time last year, it was 1,000. So 14th of August 2023, Capitec share price was 1,758 rands 24 cents. So guys, you can see, even the person who might have missed the bus or the boat when Capitec listed JSE and got these shares maybe at 100 rands or 80 rands or 35 rands, I must actually check what was the initial share price. If they then woke up only last year in August and bought Capitec, they would have only paid only, I like how I'm saying it, 1,784 rands and 758 rands 24 cents. And today, when the market closed, it was what? 2,785 rands and 2 cents. So it just, look how this company's shares price is just climbing and climbing and climbing. And now with this market that is bleeding, go check how the share prices are dropping for certain shares and make sure you take advantage of that. But don't just buy for the sake of buying. We spoke about that. You need to know what you are buying. You need to know some history about that company, what they all about, how are their performance, past performance, present performance, hopefully you can have some focus. But remember, the past performance never always determines the present performance. So there could be a company that did exceptionally well 3 years ago, but right now, when you look at their share price and their financials, you're like, what went wrong? Because remember, they changed CEOs, or they could have expanded and their expansion didn't go well. They're now hiring people who don't believe in the vision. There are many reasons, guys. So it's not always just one angle. You need someone who's trained to help you out to say, this particular share or company has been solid for the past 20 years. So I recommend or advise you, that's your financial advisor, by the way, certified one with a license, to rather invest here, because chances are we might not have a crystal ball to look into the future, but how everything is going, you could just up 10 years from now and smile all the way to that beautiful house that you would have bought near the mountains or the ocean. So yeah, in the dunes, depending on what you fancy. So yeah, I thought we'll just look into eCapitec. And I know Mr. Price, apparently I'm not invested with them. Oh, I didn't buy their shares because yeah, I'm still bleeding. I wanted to really. I walked in the one of the first few shops, and I walked in and I stood there, and I'm sure I've shared the story. I said to myself, this company, this name is gonna go far, because they came with an awesome concept where clothes could be bought at a reasonable cost, and the quality was not bad at all compared to your Pep during that time. I mean, they've also improved, I must say, over the years. And I said to myself, as someone who's always been crazy about investing, I started investing very young, and some of my investments were started as a hobby, nje ukudlala, and I was amazed at how much you can actually make through investing. And I then started taking it serious. And I never went back. I don't know what disturbed me. Let's see, Mr. Price. Oh, let's go into the same platform and check. Invest is the equities. And guys, again, once you are inside, there are different, I promise you, shares that you can buy. You can invest, like I said, is equities, USD, is equities, properties. If you don't want to invest in brick and mortar, the physical house where you have tenants and headaches and all that, you can easily invest in easy properties. So you own properties, but in a form of shares. And those who are invested, they are smiling as well. And you can start with a demo account. Let me also mention that, because I also opened 2 demo accounts and play around and buy few shares and give it some time, like a week or month, and see how those shares are doing before you step into the real world and investing with the real money. So la, it's like a monopoly. You'll be investing with paper money, but digitally, obviously, guys. And you can say, good, okay, if I buy, like, let me use clicks as an example, shares, and see how, whether they growing or they losing, the share price is going down or up, and give yourself time, and buy something that also pays dividends. But obviously no dividends will be paid, but just to have a look before you move into the live platform. And guys, if I tell you, I also started investing with equities, I think, what, 6 years or 7 years ago now, recently. And I recall when I was still much younger, and they were rolling out this platform, Easy Equities. I had a pleasure. I mean, guys, always search for investment opportunities. So if there's a webinar, there's a conference, I'll invest on myself. I'll go and attend. I remember they still partnered with someone. I forgot the name those years. In terms of, I think, who worked with Amagraph Swabo. It was a GT something. That's how long ago it was. I attended is equity one of their workshops or webinars or whatever you want to call it, and we were still going in person because I mean this digital life wasn't as crazy as it is now. Things are on Zoom, things are online, and I sat and they were showing us how you'll be able to buy these shares on this platform, and they were giving everyone 50 rands. Those who know 50 rands as a start, and I got that 50 rands as well, which was a token of like appreciating us to attend that seminar. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna invest with equity, and I was excited, because I was at the time I knew nothing about I didn't know much about investing with stock exchange. I knew people were buying shares, but it wasn't something that I was crazy about. Like how some people are traders and others are they trade Bitcoins while others are trading other things. So I was like, oh, this will teach me. And they were showing us this demo account. Start here before you go live. And guys, they were showing us when to buy, how to see it's time to buy, when to sell, when the graph is looking. It was such an informative session. And nevertheless, after the session, I promised myself, and I mean, I had a laptop because I worked. Okay, our work laptop is not our home laptop, but those years, your work laptop was a lifesaver. Now we buy our own laptops. Like it's just the man pela, the man say right. So I said, no, I've got a laptop. Nothing stops me. Guys, I don't I did set up the Easy Equities account, and that was it. Never invested. Years later, I think I met them at a money expo in Senton City, Senton Convention Center. Like, that's why I'm saying, guys, where there's money, you'll find me. Whether to go learn or to just go listen or to go and invest and take risks. And it really does help. It does yield results. But obviously, you need to do your research and understand what you are investing in. If you don't understand it, leave it. Leave it. You're going to lose your hard-earned money. Take time, but not forever, and study what you want to invest in. I met them again. I think it was called Money Expo. They still have them, I think. And it's a Sentin Convention Center. When I saw a stall, the Easy Equities, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going there. Because then my heart bled. I would have been moneyed, and that was like 5 years later when I came across them again. But only 7 years ago, I think I sat down and said, okay, let me read up about this stock again and refresh my mind, because I had forgotten. I was young when I can't even remember. I must check when they started, because they approached us when they were still fresh in the box. And if I took advantage of that, I would have been very far in terms of investing in the stock markets. And I want to urge you, Ugutu, when someone has spoken about something, immediately go and do your research, take it further, make a decision, and be a player. Go into the market. Don't wait until you are 40, 50, 100. Kanutio, can I buy Capitec shares? You saw how they are sowing. Now it's time, because I'm sure they've gone down a bit. Obviously, they won't go back to 100 rands or 50 rands when they first listed. It doesn't work like that. We all wish it could. So let's see. Like I said, you can invest in US dollars. So buy your Apples, your Google, Bobby is your uncle. Invest in Amazon if you are constant. I don't know about your Temu, guys. Temu. If you are always shopping, why not buy shares in your Temu instead of just being a buyer or a spender there? I just want to see. Hold on, guys. I just want to say, I think these are ETFs. Okay. I need to check here. So here, maybe let me do a separate, yeah, I'll take you through. I don't know how, because here I've got my real investments and I wouldn't want to show them, but we'll make a plan. Maybe I'll just hide that part. So we're looking at Mr. Price. Are they listed as Mr. Price? Yes, they are. Mr. Price Group. As you search there, you can see them there. We're looking at their share price. I know someone said when they listed it was 15 rands. I stand to be corrected. And now, as you can see, the last price was 212 rands and 77 cents. Imagine if you bought these shares when Mr. Price first listed those years. And guys, what's nice, I'll do a separate video though. It does tell you who Mr. Price is on this very app, and you can click on show more and you read up. So you're not investing, although I suggest you get a guru, but you can personally also, and here this is where you buy, and but we'll take that to another session because we don't want this to be too long. And they also have their research, what they found regarding this particular share price. You can click there and the financials are also there. So there's so much information in this app, and that's why I say I want to honor the request of one of my kids who said, Ma, can you talk about the app, Easy Equities? Can you take us around how, I almost showed you my portfolio, how we can invest or we stock markets. And I think I'll make time, hopefully this weekend, while the market is still bleeding and there's blood all over, and maybe you can take advantage and buy and start small. Use that 50 rands that I didn't use when Easy Equities offered me years ago. Even if I only invested that 50 rands in one of these big companies, can you just imagine where I would be with that 50 rands now, so many years later? I think it's now like 15 or close to 20 years, because that's how long ago they came through. I might be wrong, when they just first launched this company or the app, or they listed. So thank you very much, guys, and I hope you gained something. And those who are gonna watch this video later, tomorrow, in a week's time, in years to come, please do drop on the comment section, even if I'm no longer alive, as to say, what are your take in terms of investing in a stock market, and what will be the share price for Capitec in those years? That will be interesting. I hope I'll be able to see it from my grave, and I hope Capitec will still be alive and kicking come 50, 60 years from now. And yeah, I mean, guys, let's take it upon myself to do what's right. Let us invest, let us create wealth, let's build this thing. Let's just make sure when we have money, we just sit just for a few days and think straight, singathathwa umdumo. So ufuna ukuyispenda as though your skin starts itching when money comes into your life. Be disciplined enough to say, yes, I will go and spoil myself. Yes, I'll take my children out. Yes, I'll go buy whatever that I need to buy for my house, for myself, for my kids, for my cousin. I'll go pay the school fees. But before that, how much am I investing for my future goals, for things that matters, and for my retirement? Very important. Or else you'll be sitting like this couple of years time from now and regretting, like how I'm regretting not investing much sooner with stock exchange and buying shares and being the player there. So keep well and have a great evening. And those who joined me, I don't take you for granted. Thank you for your time. And I hope you will be able to contribute more, because I know there's people who are invested in the stock markets. You can't tell me, Onhlanhla, Obukiwe, Orifilwe, Odumile, Oluyanda, and the others have no cooking clue what I'm talking about. So it would be great to have people who can also add and say, I've tried buying this share at this price, and I was disappointed because 5 years later, it didn't yield the results that I was expecting. But I wouldn't only give it 5 years, I'll give it longer because, like I said, stock markets, try and invest for a long time. But other than that, thank you for contributing, for sharing, those who are still going to share with their loved ones and share with the youth. This information is more for the younger people than for the old crocs that you can no longer change their behavior. So it's so difficult, or they sit there and say, it's over, Ngami. It's not over until it's over. And if anything, thank you for liking. I truly appreciate. And let us meet again. And I hope I'll have a live again sometime in August 2025, and I will tell you where my investment is at that I set up. Okay, it was already set up, that I added into today, Uguti, how well, and just give you a picture, to say, when you invest in the stock markets, when you invest in unit trust or ETFs, how well you can do. And guys, if you, like I said, if property is one other investment that you are crazy about, or form of generating income, it doesn't have to be physical property. We'll talk about that when we delve even deeper is equities app itself, and who can invest there, and what. And so have a great evening, and yeah, stay blessed, and thank you so much. Good night.